They say music never truly dies. It lingers, woven into the air, echoing in empty halls, whispering between the cracks of time. But what if that music transforms into something far more unsettling? Tonight, we step into an abandoned opera house, a monument to forgotten dreams and chilling realities, where silence itself seems to hum with remembrance. The Marcelline Opera House was once the pride of the city. Built in 1892, it stood as a temple to art, draped in red velvet and gold leaf, its grand chandelier catching the light like frozen fire. In its prime, the opera house was alive with elegance. The laughter of aristocrats, the flutter of programs, the sweeping crescendos that made hearts tremble. It was said that even the air shimmered when Elena Voss sang Elena, the voice that made men weep and women dream. She was young, beautiful, and utterly devoted to her craft. Critics called her the soul of Marcelline. Her performances transcended the stage. They felt like confessions, as if she sang not to an audience, but to something divine. People traveled from other cities just to hear her sing one aria, La Voce Perduta, the lost voice, a haunting composition rumored to bring tragedy to those who performed it. On the night of her greatest triumph, the theater was packed beyond capacity. It was opening night. Chandeliers blazed, perfume thickened the air, and excitement rippled through the crowd. Elena appeared under a single spotlight, her gown a cascade of white silk. As the orchestra began, the air seemed too still. Her voice soared, clear, otherworldly, filling every corner of the opera house. But when she reached the final note, something went wrong. Her expression froze mid-aria, her eyes widened in silent horror, and her body collapsed to the stage. The note she had been singing hung unnaturally in the air, long after she had fallen silent. Witnesses swore the sound continued for several seconds before fading into nothingness. When the curtain fell, it fell for the last time. Elena Voss was pronounced dead before she could be carried from the stage. The cause was never determined. No illness, no wound. Some claimed her heart had simply stopped, as if the song itself had taken it. The theater closed within weeks. The posters remained on the walls, their colors fading, her name slowly erasing under layers of dust. Years passed. The Marcelline Opera House decayed like a body without breath. Rain seeped through the ceiling. The seats rotted. The chandelier that once illuminated her performances crashed during a storm, scattering 1,000 shards across the balcony. But those who lived nearby swore that the building was not empty. Local children dared each other to go inside. They returned pale and shaking, insisting they'd heard a woman singing softly in the dark. The old caretaker, one of the last men to work there, said he sometimes heard applause, distant and uneven, as though an invisible audience was still waiting for the final act. In 1978, a group of university students broke in, hoping to record paranormal evidence. The footage they recovered was never released in full, but what did leak was chilling. The camera pans across the ruined hall, the air heavy with dust. Then faintly, a note can be heard, soft, distant, unmistakably human. The students claimed no one was singing at the time. One of them described it as a voice that feels like it's behind your ribs, not your ears. Another swore he saw a silhouette standing on the stage, motionless, even though their flashlights revealed nothing but empty space. In the decades since, countless investigators have tried to uncover the truth. Psychics described a presence that hums when they step on stage, as if the air itself resists silence. A sound engineer recorded strange frequencies, tones far below human hearing, that seemed to form musical patterns when slowed down. Others captured whispers layered into the static. The aria must finish. The story grew darker when historians revisited the past of La Voce Perduta, the opera that claimed Elena's life. Its composer, Anton Ravel, was known for his obsession with spiritualism. In his journals, recovered years later, he wrote of a melody that summons what lies beyond the curtain of life. His final entry, dated 3 days before the premiere, reads, "She will sing the last note, and the veil will open." Ravel disappeared the night of Elena's death. His home burned to the ground days later, and the original sheet music was found among the ashes, charred, but still faintly legible. Some say the opera house is cursed, that Elena's final performance opened a door that can never be closed. Others believe she remains there willingly, her soul tethered to her song, unable to end what began on that fateful night. Those who've entered the theater claim to feel watched. Shadows ripple across the walls as though something unseen moves behind them. The stage lights, disconnected for decades, sometimes flicker for seconds at a time. A few visitors even report hearing applause, soft, patient waiting, before the sound fades into silence. One paranormal investigator described standing center stage, calling out Elena's name. The air grew cold, the smell of dust turned sweet, and then a single piano note played from nowhere. When he listened to the recording later, he swore he heard a faint voice humming behind his own, but maybe the truth isn't supernatural at all. Maybe places remember what people forget. Every note sung, every tear shed, every final breath taken, it all leaves a trace. The Marcelline Opera House might not be haunted by a ghost, but by emotion itself. Grief so intense it carved itself into the walls. The building doesn't need spirits to sing. It remembers its own tragedy. Still, there's something undeniably alive in that silence. Even now, when the wind rushes through the broken doors, it sounds like the whisper of a crowd holding its breath. And sometimes, if you stand near the stage at dusk, you might hear a voice, faint, distant, achingly beautiful, singing a melody the world has forgotten. They say if you listen long enough, you'll hear her final note, the same note that killed her. And when it fades, you'll hear something else. The faint sound of applause, echoing from an audience that no longer exists. So perhaps the music never truly stopped. Perhaps it still plays, looping endlessly, trapped in the moment between triumph and tragedy. Elena Voss, forever taking her final bow before an unseen audience, bound to her own performance. If you ever find yourself walking past the ruins of the Marcelline Opera House, pause for a moment. Step closer to the cracked marble doors. You might feel a chill, a faint vibration in the air like someone humming just out of reach. And if you listen very closely, you may hear the sound of a single high note trembling in the dark, pure, haunting, eternal. And somewhere within that echo, the ghost of applause still rises. Tell me in the comments, what would you have done? And if stories like this send a chill down your spine, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell icon